Hello and welcome back, everyone. This is Dan. Thank you for joining me for Slay the Princess. So, just a little peek behind the curtains, little backstage pass here, just real quick. I did a quick search on Slay the Princess, and it seems that there are just a whole bunch of endings, and there isn't just one straight linear path or any number of combined paths that go to like one ending ultimate end. It's just from what I could tell, there's just a whole bunch of just endings, and they're all just different timelines that you can explore. Some of them require multiple playthroughs to get certain specific endings and such, but I think this will be the last video on Slay the Princess, just because we're 5 videos in. I think I've done a good amount for the month of October, and just, I kind of want to move on to another game. Not that this game has been boring or anything. I've been thoroughly enjoying my time, and it was well worth the money that I purchased the game for. It's just, I don't know, as far as a channel that isn't specifically how should I say, dedicated to this game or this type of game, to continue posting these type of videos up, at least for a singular period of time. Perhaps, if there's interest, I'm pre-recording these, so I don't know what the interest level is right now. But perhaps if there's interest in the series, I'll continue making more videos, trying to explore some more paths, some more timelines, and see if we can pursue endings. And at some point, if there is a market interest, I might decide that it might be worthwhile to go through a walkthrough and just hit all of the endings. But I don't know that that would be entertaining to watch. Regardless, I think that we've been through enough. One thing that came out of this is I've had a hankering to get back to Lake of Voices, which, if you're new to the channel, was a similar game, maybe not super similar, but similar in vein to this game. It doesn't explore timelines, but it is a visual novel with a kind of creepy atmosphere. I didn't quite get all of the endings, and I'm very interested too, so I'm doing some research on that. But that's for another example. Like, I could go back to it. I could come back to this game. Not sure about whether I will or not. Haven't decided yet, but I hope that you guys have so far been enjoying it, and I hope that you will enjoy this final walkthrough. I haven't decided which way we're gonna go, but I hope that you will enjoy this final walkthrough for now, and we'll just take it as it comes, and we'll see about exploring other and newer games, or maybe not new games, but games that I haven't experienced yet. And I hope that you'll come back and experience more games like that with me. With that said, I think for this run, I'm going to do something different. I'm actually going to err on the side of the princess. I think all of the time I've been antagonizing him, and for this final run, I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to help her. Now, every timeline has been different, and what type of princess or what type of personality we have had seems to be dependent on what we do. So perhaps like helping her will be something that is positive or end up positive. I have to say that I don't remember if it was the intro title, because in the title screen for the game is very reminiscent of older games where if you left it, it would just keep on going, and then eventually get to a point where it kind of did like a demo, so to speak. But also, I've been on the store page on Steam for this game for quite a while, and just kind of debating whether or not I was gonna buy it, and particularly for October. There were a couple of other games that I was looking at that I ended up not going with just because of some content warnings. But they had some demos, and I saw a couple of images in a video, or maybe just still images in the store page that alluded to the princess possibly being good or something. So I think we're gonna give that a try and see how it goes. And we're just gonna go from there. For this one, I'm gonna try to choose some choices to see about maybe getting on the princess's good side. So I'm gonna skip some of these talking points, but I do think that we should ask about the end of the world.
I'm talking about the end.
And we'll skip through that, get to the next one. And we'll question the narrator.
Look, you're all...
Okay. And then... yeah, and then we'll say that we're not going to kill her if she's not dangerous.
She's not dangerous. She's just a princess. The danger comes if she gets out. Which she will, unless you do something about it.
Okay, so... yeah. Let's see. There's just a lot of options, especially specifically here. Let's see.
The more specifics you have, the harder it will be
I think
for you
we've
to
seen
do
this
this
one.
very important job. She's a princess. People will listen to her because listening to her is in their nature. And when they do, everything will come crashing down.
Some people will look at people in higher power and just automatically listen, and there are other people that will automatically go the opposite direction. So just because she's a princess doesn't mean people will automatically listen to her. Have you considered maybe she's the only reason she's going to end the world is because she locked up?
While I appreciate the mental exercise, we are running up against a bit of a ticking clock.
Okay,
Nevertheless, let me assure you, the princess is locked up because she's dangerous. She is not dangerous because she's locked up. And before you decide to waste even more of our time by asking how I know that, let me suggest a more pragmatic lens through which to view this situation. Causality doesn't matter here, because the end result is the same no matter what led us up to this point. If the princess leaves the cabin, the world will end, and there is no changing that. It's no use arguing semantics over a metaphorical chicken or egg, because the egg is hatched and it's about to ruin everything. Unless, of course, you do your job and slay her.
I guess what we're going to do is we're going to find that out for sure. So I'm just going to say we'll talk to her.
Then I guess we'll just have to see what happens. But a word of warning.
Okay, so I skipped through all of that, and we're just going to continue through. And we're not... this time I don't think we're going to pick up the knife at all.
The interior of the cabin is almost entirely...
okay, so we're not going to take the blade. We're just going to enter the basement.
The door to the basement creaks open, revealing a staircase faintly illuminated by an unseen light in the room below. This is an oppressive place. The air feels heavy and damp, a hint of rot filtering from the ancient wood. If the princess really lives here, slaying her is probably doing her a favor.
Notice how the narrator colors everything, faintly illuminated by an unseen light. Oppressive place, heavy and damp. All this stuff. And he has an agenda. He's got something that he wants.
Her voice softly carries up the stairs.
Hello? Is someone there?
is hypnotizing. It's the kind of voice you only have to hear once to remember it for the rest of your life.
Yeah, the hero.
Don't let it fool you. It's all part of the manipulation. You're playing a dangerous game by coming here unarmed.
Well, that's what you say. We don't know. Yeah, I think we're gonna say we're here to save her.
How many times do I have to tell you how dangerous letting her out of here would be before it finally sinks in?
See what happens.
Wait, really? You're here to rescue me? I was starting to think I'd be stuck down here forever. Come downstairs. I want to see the face of my rescuer.
Let's listen to these honeyed lies of hers.
You walk down the stairs and lock eyes with the princess. There's a heavy chain around her wrist, binding her to the far wall of the basement. She's beautiful. How could someone like this be a threat to anyone?
I would say someone that is a threat generally would be beautiful because they can lower your guard, get you off guard.
I am begging you to stay focused. There's a lot riding on you here.
Hi. I can't believe you're here. I've been waiting for something like this to happen forever.
Forever? Yeah, how long, really? It's always been ambiguous.
I hope you brought something to deal with these chains.
We did not.
Don't do it. If she gets out of those chains, we're all one step closer to the end.
Well, maybe that's what I'm looking for. I mean, we keep looping, so maybe in one of these loops we'll find out what the end is. Oh, hold on. I'll see what I can do with these chains.
Making this more difficult.
For you, narrator.
Thank you. Thank you.
You're making a huge mistake.
Well, says you.
No, you're doing the right thing.
Says the hero.
You walk up to the chains binding the princess to the wall and give them a tug. They're large and heavy, far too solid for you to even imagine trying to break them apart.
So what do we do?
I'm guessing you don't have the key?
We do not.
Maybe it's somewhere upstairs. Doubtful. Whoever locked the princess away down here intended for her to never see the light of day. They wouldn't have just left the key to her chains somewhere in the cabin.
Watch, we go back up there, and it's there, right where the knife was. And if there isn't a key, do you have any other ideas? I'm going to check upstairs. Maybe the key's still lying around somewhere up there. If not, maybe I can at least find something to break you free. Yeah, we'll tell her that. Give her some hope.
Okay. I'll be here. Good luck.
You attempt to make your way out of the basement, but the door at the top of the stairs slams shut.
Really?
You hear the click of a lock sliding into place.
Who else is up there?
Is someone else here?
Let's try the door.
You try the door, but it's locked from the outside.
Okay.
Your shouts and pleas are met with silence.
Silence.
You're here to slay the princess, and you won't leave until the task is done.
I mean, that's what you say, and that's why you brought us here.
You make your way to the bottom of the stairs. This would have been so much easier if you'd just taken the blade like you were supposed to.
Yeah, but, I mean, I didn't want to be threatening. The first time we came with the blade just to talk to her, and she was like, well, I see the blade in your hand. You're here to kill me.
Easier for whom? Easier for everyone. Look at the mess you're in.
Well, we're in this mess because we didn't take the blade, but that's because someone else is interfering.
I heard the door slam. They locked you down here too, didn't they?
They did.
There's a slight panic rising in the princess's voice.
If I could just get out of these chains, I know we could force our way out of here together.
Yeah, with her, like, insane strength when she was a wraith or whatever she was.
She barely hesitates before raising her arm to her mouth, her teeth tearing through her limb with the determination of a trapped wolf.
Oh my god. She's just eating through her arm?
As she rips her flesh from her bone, a sound comes from behind you. the clang of bouncing metal. It's the blade from upstairs. You're not sure how it made its way down here, but if there's a time to strike, it's now. Or we could use it to free her.
It's so weird that, like, she just instantly went for the arm and just started gnawing it off. What the heck? Is that how she got free the first time? Can she regenerate? Because she had both hands.
You won't like what happens if you do that.
I don't know. I think we saved the princess. We're already in it. Let's get in it to win it.
Fine. Against your better judgment, you place the blade against the ragged, self-inflicted wound on the princess's arm, just above the unyielding chain binding her to this place.
Oh man, that is so... Oh jeez. What the...
Cut into her flesh.
Oh my god.
The blade is sharp, and it takes little effort to crack through the bone of her arm.
Oh my gosh, she just rips her arm off.
Her limb falls to the ground, and the heavy chains follow suit.
I mean, if she was gonna do that, why didn't she do that earlier?
She didn't so much as utter a sound through the whole ordeal.
And that is weird.
No, she didn't. She smiles softly as her gaze meets yours, blood from her wounded arm dripping rhythmically to the ground.
Oh my goodness.
How is she still smiling after everything? It's like she isn't even bothered by what just happened.
It's because she's not. Like, oh my god, look at her. Look at her.
Thank you. Now let's get out of here.
No, we won't have any of that. The stakes are too high. You can't just let her escape into the world. No, I can't just let her escape into the world.
And who are you, narrator? Aren't you just a voice in our head?
As the princess approaches the bottom stair, your body steps forward and raises the blade.
He's not just a voice in our head. He's taking over our body right now.
Wait, this isn't fair. You can't just do that. Watch me.
What are you doing?
Oh my god, every option to slay the princess. Oh, there's one that's warned her.
Stop that.
Something's come over you, hasn't it? You know you don't have to do this, right?
Your body lunges forward, the blade held low, ready to sink into her heart. But the princess dodges, stumbling back against the wall before the blade has a chance to connect.
She did the superhero landing.
Stop it. Stop trying to resist me. I'm trying to get you out of here alive.
Well, says you. Yeah, resist.
The blade. Move the blade. As your body remains frozen in stubborn resistance, the princess takes a cautious step forward.
We both know this isn't you.
She nervously reaches towards you and takes the blade from your infuriatingly rigid hands. What are you doing?
Infuriatingly.
I'm sorry. I'll try to be quick.
By killing us?
She plunges it into your chest, tearing through flesh and sinew. It is agony. But you aren't dead yet.
Oh no, I'm so sorry.
I'm so sorry. What? What?
Stay strong. We can tough it out until it's done. For her sake. For her sake? Don't you start pretending that dying a painful death is some sort of heroic gesture. The two of you have literally doomed everyone.
But he's the hero. Of course he would do a heroic gesture.
Whatever. She sinks the blade into your chest again and again and again, and you feel every inch of burning pain that slices its way into your body.
Damn, dude. Damn.
I'm sorry.
So, what is she thinking? Like, we both know that this isn't you. Let me take the knife and kill you with it? I don't follow.
She doesn't know how to use a knife, does she? Apparently not, though it doesn't matter how sloppy her knife work is, does it? A stab wound is still a stab wound, and it won't be long before you bleed out.
But again, we're a monster or something. Look at our hand.
I'm so sorry.
With one last thrust of the knife, your legs give out beneath you. You collapse to the floor, your blood pooling around you, your limbs unresponsive. The princess stares down at your ruined chest as tears carve rivulets of pink down her blood-spattered cheeks.
So she's crying over the fact that she did this, and she was very naive in doing it too.
It can't just end like this, right? Oh, that's rich coming from you. As much as I'd prefer for things to have gone differently, I can't deny the reality of what's happened. The two of you made your choice. It's over. Everything goes dark, and you die.
The Damsel. Chapter 2.
You're on a path in the woods, and at the end of that path is a cabin. And in the basement of that cabin is a princess. You're here to slay her. If you don't, it will be the end of the world.
So this is a new narrator, because whenever we go into a new loop, the narrator never remembers. I think we're just gonna go to the cabin. I don't think we're gonna talk to him.
Before you go any further, she will lie.
I'm just gonna skip through this.
And she will do everything in her power to stop you from slaying her.
I guess not.
If only you knew what you did to us, you villain.
Oh, that's why. The voice of the smitten. Ah, smitten. Is that because we fell in love with her? Is that it?
Excuse me? Forget he said anything. But he is a villain. He made our beloved brutally take our life last time. He's trying to keep us apart, but he won't be able to withstand the power of our love.
Just because we didn't kill her is because it makes us have loved her. I mean, that's a bit of a stretch, but sure.
Last time? What are you talking about? I think he just likes to hear the sound of his own voice. Let's try to ignore him. I do, but I also speak from the heart. My passions are too great to be stifled. They must be expressed.
They must be expressed.
Sure, yeah, your passions are strong and all, but not everyone needs to hear them. Some things are better kept quiet. Don't pay their bickering any mind. Focus on the task ahead.
Alright, we'll go into the cabin. Alright.
The interior of the cabin is clean and elegant, its stone walls draped in fine-threaded tapestries, a prison befitting a royal prisoner. The only furniture of note is an ornate wooden table with a pristine blade perched on its edge.
I find it interesting that we didn't kill her the first time, and now it's clean and elegant, walls draped in fine-threaded tapestries, befitting a royal prisoner. That we must be on the path to like her not being evil and trying to kill us. Well, I guess she wasn't evil in the last one, but she did try to kill us. That was intentional because she was trying to somehow in her head that was helping us.
The blade is your implement. You'll need it if you want to do this right.
I think not. We're not doing the mirror. We're not gonna take the blade. We're just gonna enter the basement.
The door to the basement creaks open,
Ooh.
revealing an intricate stairwell. Gold-trimmed carpet glimmers in the light of the torches positioned along the walls. The basement almost seems welcoming in the dim firelight.
It's almost cozy or romantic.
But it's still a stone basement. If the princess lives here, slaying her is probably doing her a favor.
I don't know, man. I don't know.
A soft voice carries up the stairs.
Hello? Is someone there?
Her voice. It's somehow even more beautiful than last time. I think we're in love.
And that would make you smitten, my guy.
Okay, I'm with you that we should be doing whatever we can to save her, but saying we're in love is a bit much, don't you think?
Yeah, exactly. Exactly. Thank you, hero.
We don't even know the princess. We can still do right by her without all this fawning.
I believe so.
Yes, for everyone's sake, you're not in love. Just remember that her charms are all part of the manipulation.
I mean, so says you. I didn't see anything entirely bad the last time. I mean, other than her killing us, but she seemed very naive and innocent. I don't know that she would have kept up an act if she knew that she was actively killing us and she was evil. I don't know.
You walk down the stairs and lock eyes with the princess. There's a heavy chain around her wrist, binding her to the far wall.
Look, I mean, there's like the carpet, everything looks like kempt. It looks clean even. And this window out in the background, I mean, other than being a prison, doesn't look all that bad, to be honest.
My love, we're here to rescue you from your unjust and foul imprisonment. You know she can't hear you, right? She may not be able to hear my words, but surely she can hear my spirit.
Don't call me Shirley.
Oh, your spirit's plenty loud, all right.
Indeed.
It's you, my dashing hero. I was so worried you wouldn't come back.
So she's aware of the loops too. I guess every one of her incarnations is aware of the loop.
Did you hear that? She said we're dashing.
Dashing? I don't know about dashing. I mean, we looked pretty monstrous.
And she called us a hero. Flattery really goes a long way with the two of you, doesn't it?
Well, I mean, for many people it does. That's how scammers work. They attack you like on a not subconscious, but on a psychological level.
Waiting for you to come back? You've been here before, haven't you?
Indeed we have, sir.
That's right, villain. And you killed us. Well, she killed us.
Technically, yes.
Only because he made us try and kill her. It was self-defense. Our beloved's hands remain unstained by cruelty.
Or at least she led us to believe that, at the very least.
And you've died before. So an entire world has been damned to oblivion. I'd really hoped I'd be the first, but what's done is done. What matters is you have a chance to do it right this time.
Wrong and right is really a matter of perspective, is it not?
We damned a whole world, but everything reset. Nothing resets, you're just somewhere else. You can't keep hopping between worlds forever, especially not without leaving a trail of incomprehensible devastation behind you. This is horrible.
Okay, so I don't know if the narrator is just an unreliable narrator, especially since he doesn't retain his consciousness between resets. And because there is actively a reset. When you die and you go on to the next chapter, then like that's a loop. That's the whole like maybe jumping between worlds, between timelines and such. But then when the entity at the end like comes and like if they take the active princess that you've had with you or that you've experienced, then or I guess if you go and visit them, you can actually reset where nothing happened or things haven't happened, because everyone forgets everything, even the hero, because he's with you every single time, all the time. And there are times where he doesn't remember either. Everyone forgets. So, I mean, there are resets, and just the narrator either doesn't know or is just pretending not to.
Horrible for you, maybe, but we've been given another opportunity to sweep her off her feet and treat her like the lady she is.
Feels like, did she always have like a big crown like this? And was her dress always like this ornate looking?
Now, hold on. If she actually ended a world, are you sure we want to do this? Are you sure we want to rescue her?
But we don't know that she did.
We never saw a world end, and now I'm even more certain that we must chase our heroic and romantic destiny than I've ever been. I shan't let anyone convince us otherwise.
I shan't.
Are you listening to him? He's lost it. Don't let him distract you. Just do your job.
Whatever. Alright. Oh, there are some decent questions here. You killed me last time, and it hurt a lot. Why did you do that? I didn't bring a knife. Do I have to cut you out again? What? Oh, yeah, that's right. What happened after I died? I have to ask, did you end the world after you killed me back there? I'm sorry about what happened last time. The narrator who sent me here to kill you took over my body. It was extremely unfair. Well, maybe we ask this first. What happened after we died?
You died, and now we're talking.
You don't remember anything? What happened? Okay, she's being very coy about it.
If another version of me was pushed to such drastic action, it was for good reason.
Well, I mean, we didn't listen to you, and you took over our body, so I guess for you that was the good reason.
That's okay. You were just doing your best, and that's all that matters.
That's all that matters.
She took that in stride, to a surprising extent. An almost unsettling extent, actually.
Yeah, but what was also unsettling was her chewing her arm off.
That's because she's perfect.
Sure. Love is blind.
Do you think she has someone like him telling her what to do?
Maybe.
She doesn't. There's no one else like me.
That's what everyone says to themselves about
I
themselves.
think he's right, because I like it better if she doesn't have some horrid little voice like him, always trying to drive her to violence.
Right. You killed me last time, and it hurt a lot. Why did you do that?
I'm sorry. Didn't you want me to?
No?
Did we?
No, we didn't.
We warned her of the cruel forces seizing our body. That's practically telling her to kill us. She is our beloved, and she made the choice to free us of our misery, to show us mercy and make the best decision for everyone.
I mean, that's him kind of just justifying it in his head. That's not what she said, though.
She made the best decision for her. Don't be so quick to assign kindness. You're just opening yourself up to manipulation.
Indeed, I agree. But at the same time, we're just gonna do this. Before we started talking, did the world end? Did you end the world? I mean, we could ask that.
I don't know. Was I supposed to have ended the world? Would that have made you happy?
This, like, whole innocent act is kind of a little, it's kind of eerie, actually.
Isn't that just like our darling princess? She wants to make us happy. My heart melts further with every word that passes through her beautiful lips.
This guy is early stages of puppy love.
Are you listening to her? That's a confession.
I mean, yeah, yes and no. No, I don't want the world to end. I have no feelings one way or the other about the world ending, or honestly, the world sucks. People are a plague, and I hope you brought a slow and painful ruin to them all. Maybe we remain silent.
The princess's eyes quiver as she waits for your response.
I didn't end the world? I didn't end the world.
She's clearly just saying what she thinks you want to hear.
I mean, that kinda is true.
Or she's innocent. How could a beauty like her be capable of ending the world? It's not rational.
It is kind of weird. And we didn't bring a knife.
I'm okay with whatever you come up with. You can cut my arm off again.
But you chewed it off, like half off the first time.
We won't be laying a finger on her perfect wrists, and indeed, we won't even have to. Do you see how dainty her hands are? We'll be able to slip her right out with no harm done.
Then why couldn't she have just slipped them off herself?
What? No, she's a prisoner here. You can't just slip her hand through the chains. Why are you two arguing over the logistics of slipping her hand out of her shackles? She just said she'd be okay with any idea we came up with. Am I the only one here who thinks that's weird?
I also think that's weird, but I mean, the whole premise of this game and things that have led up to us where we are now has also been weird. So weird on weird on weird.
She didn't care last time. Why should she care this time? That's our stoic, smiling angel.
Damn, this guy's got it bad. He's down bad.
No, you're right. It's extremely bizarre behavior and further evidence that she's a monster who's not to be trusted. So go ahead and slay her.
Well, we don't even have a weapon, really. We're just gonna rescue her.
No, I can't let you do that. If you take another step towards the princess, You'll what? Take over our body and force us to try and kill her?
Yeah, maybe the smitten is gonna fight him, and we won't need to, like, do anything. Just like when, oh, I forgot, there was that one in, was it episode 2, where we had died, and then the past self, kept us alive. You remember? Heart, liver, lungs, he just kept going back and forth.
I would if you had a weapon. Not on my watch, villain. My passions contain titanic depths, and if you try anything that might harm our dearest, I will end our life without a second thought.
Ooh, and our life without a second thought.
You wouldn't. I would. I'd listen to him if I were you. He has a lot of strong feelings, and doesn't the world end if we don't stop her?
Yeah, but the world ends if she gets free, too.
You approach the princess and gingerly slide her hand from her bindings. That shouldn't have worked. I'll be damned. We're doomed.
He just slipped right off.
I can't believe it. But I guess I have to.
Yeah, especially since the narrator said so.
I told you. There's no life more worth living than that of a true believer.
I'm free, and you're not trying to kill me this time. Thank you. Thank you so much.
Alright, now let's see if she shows us her true self.
The princess jumps up and smothers you in a joyful embrace.
Ooh. Ooh.
If only you had a weapon, one slip of the wrist and your pristine blade would be buried in her back and everyone out there would be saved. Luckily for Mr. Romance, we don't have a weapon. Who needs a weapon when we have the power of love on our side?
The power of love compels you.
What do we do now?
We leave with you. What do you want to do? And we leave, and then we have our whole lives to figure out what we want to do next.
Let me guess. End the world? Spoken with the rank cynicism of someone who has never felt love in his heart.
Well, I mean, well spoken, Smitten.
I don't actually know. Nobody's ever asked me what I wanted before.
Well, what do you want now that you're being asked?
She doesn't even know what she wants. You may have had her all wrong. What if this whole thing is just a misunderstanding? What if she doesn't want to end the world? You're so gullible. Is the only thing you've ever doubted the actual truth?
Well, you should doubt the truth. You should question both truth and lies. Come to your own conclusion. Use your own brain. That's why you have a brain, right?
I think I want to leave. And I think...
I want to kill everyone.
The princess closes her eyes in deep reflection. And then she shrugs.
She's just being really coy right now.
I don't know. What do you want to do?
I don't know. I want you to tell me what you want. There must be something you want. Do you want to end the world? I want you to tell me what you want.
I just want to make you happy.
Sure.
She can't just want to make us happy. It makes sense to me. That's all I want for her, so of course she'd want the same for us.
Did you hear when we went through that there's like now a bit of a distortion in the music? Ooh. Ooh. We could just end it and like be like keep her still happy, or we can continue to question her, possibly bring out like the rough side. Huh. Like, I mean, on the one hand, I want to just leave and see like how the world ends, but at the same time, I also kind of want to like agitate her and see like if she reveals her true self. I want you to make me unhappy. Let's see. There must be something you want.
I just want to make you happy.
Oh, big anime eyes.
Is she broken? What's going on? What's going on is she's lying to you, only she isn't a good liar. Are you starting to trust me now?
I mean, I never really trusted you to begin with. But what would make you happy?
I just want to make you happy.
This isn't right. I don't know what's going on, but this isn't right.
Yeah.
I fail to see the problem here. She's just sweet on us. You don't have to act like it's a big deal.
You notice how the background is getting like darker and darker. You have to want something more than just making me happy.
Okay, I'll find something else to want if that makes you happy.
Yeah, and now like the drawings are getting even weirder.
Is it just me, or does it feel like we're alone right now? Like we're the only ones here?
Whoa. The hands, the entity. It just took her. You don't get the chance to ask another question, nor will you ever. It's time for you to leave. Memory returns.
So, she was our perfect match. She's gone. Where did she go? Should we try and find her?
No, she's gone now. The entity took her.
Is that a mirror? Why is it here? Why now?
See, the hero never remembers at any time we go to the mirror. It's going to be okay. Just trust me, we've been here before, and you always get scared.
But it feels so bad. Like looking into it right now is going to be the end of everything. Yes, I fear that we won't like what we'll see. What if we just sit here and preen for a while? That can't hurt, right?
It's not the end. Whatever's on the other side is going to be nice. It's the end for you, but not for me. I'll see you on the other side. It's going to be okay.
Okay. If you say so. We'll trust you.
Well, the hero will be on the other side, but not smitten.
She'll be there waiting for us. I just know it.
I'll approach the mirror. You approach the mirror. Gaze into your reflection. Silence as you reach forward. They're gone once again. The mirror always makes them leave, but you need to see what's in it. The decay. You've withered. What? I haven't taken notice of whether or not like our form changes each time, or if it's just during certain things here. You find yourself in the long quiet once again. You are at the cabin.
I am a growing chorus of contradiction, a mass of tides ebbing and flowing all at once in more directions than my attention can bear to hold. To look at any one is to shift them all into something new, and to look away is to reshape them yet again.
I noticed that she's getting more and more like princess looking. Before she was some kind of like strange, like constructed monstrosity of multiple princesses. amalgam together, but now she's looking more and more firm and solid and unified. She's still got a bunch of hands there, so I wonder if you find all of the endings, all the ending versions of the princess, if she eventually has like a quote unquote perfect body.
All of me is changing, and yet the rest of me is still the same.
You can't be a contradiction. Contradictions don't exist, but they do. How can you stand to be a contradiction? It doesn't matter how many times I go back. At least one of us always hurts the other. Doesn't that change you? Doesn't that make you worse? What do you think of this vessel? I'm still planning to kill you once we're done with this. You know that at the end of this, once you're finished, I'm going to kill you, right? Do you know what happens to the worlds when we leave behind? I don't think she cares. Have you figured out what you'll want when you're finished? She'll probably... Yeah. Kind of want to ask... How can you stand to be a contradiction?
As easily as you can stand to be you. You are like me, even if you have chosen not to look at the corners of you that do not fit. Even if you have chosen to ignore the brilliant contours of your soul.
I guess she's also saying that, like, we are incomplete also, and that we make different choices all of the time, and whether or not we look at all of the consequences, we're still picking those things, and it doesn't change who we are, I guess, as the player, perhaps? What do you think of this vessel?
This one is soft and delicate. You molded her to love you, and she'll make for a gentle heart.
Oh, so she did love us then. Is that what it was? Because we were nice to her?
Do not mourn her. She has served her purpose.
Interesting. Interesting. Huh. How many more vessels do I need to bring you?
We will know when we near our destination.
Okay. It doesn't matter how many times I go back, at least one of us always hurts the other. Doesn't that change you? Doesn't that make you worse?
It changes me, but it doesn't make me worse, nor does it make me care for you any less. Does it make you worse? Do you resent me?
If anything, it makes me like you more. I don't know what that says about me. Or, no, not really. It all seems so distant as soon as I'm near you. And I have no opinion one way or the other on the matter. I just want it all to stop. Yes, you're torturing me and I hate it. I think I hate you. Well, I mean, things that make you change or that change you don't necessarily make you worse and don't necessarily make you better. Do these changes make us worse? Having like one of us be hurt, does it make us resent? I mean, it's possible humans resent for many different and sometimes minuscule reasons. But for us, does it matter? We loop, we reset. Does that make it a terrible experience? We're experiencing all this stuff, and perhaps maybe it does. Maybe it just remains silent.
You are what brings me meaning. Know that the pain of your journey will subside in due time.
Subside.
But you still have a ways to go before we are done.
Okay. Alright, well. I guess I'm ready to go back.
I will be here when it is time for us to meet again.
Everything goes dark, and you die. And we start over from the back. Yep, the hero and the princess.
You're on a path in the woods.
Alright, let me skip through. I think I'm gonna do one more loop. I think what we're gonna do is we're gonna take the knife and still just talk to her. So we're just gonna silently continue to the cabin. And we're gonna
You make
skip
your way
through
up.
and proceed into the cabin. And this time we'll take the knife with us, but we won't talk to her. I mean, we will talk to her.
The interior of the cabin.
And take that blade,
You take the blade from the table. It'd be rather
and then we'll enter the basement.
The door to the basement.
All right. Maybe we say hi. Because she called out to us and we can just call back.
Don't be a stranger. It's been so long since I've had any visitors. Come on down.
Now she's like being very coy.
You walk down the stairs and lock eyes with the princess. There's a heavy chain
Yeah,
around her wrist, binding her to the far wall of the basement.
She knows, because we carried the knife in, she knows that there's something here. Okay. Are you here to kill me or something? We should admit it, because otherwise she's going to just hold on and harbor resentment for us having lied. So this would definitely be lying here. I haven't decided yet whether or not we're going to kill her, because we decided, well, I decided I wanted to talk to her, like not just like blind love.
How about you drop the knife and the two of us just talk?
Yeah, we'll do that.
Look how reasonable she's being. We should just drop the blade and talk things out.
I think we've talked through this. Oh no, we haven't.
Don't you dare.
Don't you dare.
It's fine. We can decide what we want to do after we talk to her. Maybe she really is a monster, but killing someone in cold blood isn't very becoming of us.
Says the hero. Very good hero. So we'll drop it.
The blade tumbles out of your trembling hands and drops to the floor with an unceremonious clang.
Thank you.
That is a
Against your
very...
better judgment, you step forward to speak with the princess face to face, unarmed.
I will say that was very sultry thank you.
We'll be fine. I don't know what you're hoping to accomplish here, but I can assure you there's no reasoning with her. Just make sure you don't forget about the blade on the floor. You're going to need it.
So here we are. What an awkward start to a relationship.
All right, let's see. Let's see. It's a pretty awkward relationship. How would I get you out of here? I'm here because you're supposed to end the world. There's people out there who think you're going to end the world. What do you have to say about that? Let's start with that.
Don't just tell her that.
Is that why they threw me down here? But I don't want to hurt anyone. I like the world, I think.
Except the part of the world that imprisoned you, maybe.
I don't remember much about it, to be honest. I've been down here a long time.
That's the thing, like, how long is a long time? Are you a homunculus or something?
Just how long has she been down here?
Yeah, for real.
If I'm supposed to be capable of ending the world, then how did I wind up here, chained to a wall? Have they told you why I'm allegedly so dangerous?
Not at all. Nobody has said anything. No, and if I'm being honest, I'm more inclined to trust you than I'm inclined to trust them. Which is true. At this moment, at least.
Sooner or later, you'll understand that I have your best interests at heart. Hopefully sooner.
Except he doesn't. Because when we blindly followed him, he just wanted us to remain in the cabin in deep outside space forever. Like, that isn't our best interests.
How sweet. Now be a pal and help me get out of here, would you? We could figure out how to deal with them after I'm free.
Slay the princess. Actually, I've changed my mind. I don't trust you. Or examine the chains. I'll see what I can do.
You walk up to the chains binding the princess to the wall and give them a tug. They're large and heavy, far too solid for you to even imagine trying to break them apart.
So what do we do?
I'm guessing you don't have the key.
No. What would you make you think that?
Maybe it's somewhere upstairs. Doubtful. Whoever locked the princess away down here intended for her to never see the light of day. They wouldn't have just left the key to her chains somewhere in the cabin.
So you say. Alright, so I think this one, we get locked in. And if there isn't a key, do you have any ideas?
Well, you do have that big, sharp knife. You could always cut me out of here.
Look, her eyes are just so uninterested right now.
She speaks with almost complete nonchalance.
Yeah, for real. About cutting her out, seriously?
If we were stuck down here for long enough, I'm sure we'd be nonchalant about cutting our way out. Anything to finally be free.
Yeah, but I don't know. She doesn't look sickly or anything, having been imprisoned for so long. And yeah, you know, now that I'm thinking about it, in the last run, like in the chapter 2, her dress was much more frilly when she was like, you know, the lovey princess.
You attempt to make your way out of the basement, but the door at the top of the stairs slams shut. You hear the click of a lock sliding into place. Is someone else here?
Alright, we'll just return to the bottom of the stairs.
You make your way back to the bottom of the stairs. This would have been so much easier if you'd simply slain her like you were supposed to. Easier for whom?
Seriously.
Easier for everyone.
Says you.
I heard the door slam. They locked you down here too, didn't they?
I wonder, because she has a slightly different demeanor, if we get a different ending for basically going otherwise through the same prompts.
The knife. Pick it up and cut me out of here.
You won't like what happens if you do that.
Well, we'll do it regardless.
Against your better judgment, you place the blade against the princess's arm, just above the massive, unyielding chain. You cut into her flesh.
Oh, so far it's the same.
The blade is sharp, and you make quick work of it. Before long, you're able to crack through bone, and she pulls the bleeding stub of her arm through the iron gauntlet.
That is still, like, ugh, stomach turning.
She didn't so much as utter a sound. Free from her bindings, the princess turns to face you, her fierce gaze meeting your eye.
Fierce gaze. That's different.
How is she so composed after losing an arm? It's like she isn't even bothered by it.
Thank you. Now let's get out of here.
Let's get out of here. Now approach the locked
No,
door.
we won't have any of that. The stakes are too high. You can't just let her escape into the world. No, I just can't let her escape into the world.
And he takes over our body again.
As the princess approaches the bottom stair, your body steps forward and raises the blade.
But does it, because of her demeanor, does she expect it and then actually fight us this time?
Wait, this isn't fair. You can't just do that.
Watch me.
Stop that.
I thought this was a little too easy.
Oh, we've got this. Where we've got her angry now.
Your body lunges forward to sink the blade into her back, but the princess swiftly moves out of the way before you can connect. Stop it. Stop resisting me. I am trying to get you out of here alive.
Alright, let's continue to resist. Maybe she'll kill us, but like she'll be more ruthless about it this time.
The blade. Move the blade.
You're doing your best to help me, aren't you? I can see the conflict in your eyes.
So sultry. Ooh, that voice.
I'll make this quick.
She steps forward and pries the blade from your rigid hands.
Maybe I'll see you in another life.
She knows.
And then she slits your throat with an almost clinical ease.
Yeah, that's right. She's more evil in this one.
Her Her face remains unchanged as she watches you collapse to the ground, blood flowing from your butchered neck.
Yeah, this one she's less naive.
This is the end, isn't it? I'm afraid it is. Everything goes dark, and you die. I hope it was worth it.
For a new ending? Yeah, it was. The Prisoner.
You're on a path in the woods, and at the end of that path is a cabin. And in the basement of that cabin is a princess.
Can
You're here to slay
I skip
her.
through this?
If you don't,
Nope.
it will be the end of the world.
Alright, so let's see. Let's just head to the cabin. And who do we have?
A warning before you go any further.
Who is the new voice that joins us this time?
She will lie, she will cheat, and she will do everything in her power to stop you from slaying her. Don't believe a word she says. Yes, don't believe a word she says. Just go in, take the knife, and do what you're supposed to. Wink.
Skeptic.
Did you just say wink out loud? No, I didn't. Wink.
If he didn't say wink, we wouldn't be able to see him. He's just the voice.
Just ignore this clown and focus on the princess.
Proceed in. Now, the second choice of whether or not to take the knife.
The interior of the cabin is less a cozy woodland retreat and more like a dungeon. A few pathetic wisps of starlight attempt to illuminate the cold, uninviting stone walls, and thick, wrought iron bars barricade the windows, reminding anyone who enters that this is a prison.
Yeah, this one is much more like, it's still like structured, but it is cold, uninviting.
The only furniture of note is an iron table bolted to the floor, a pristine blade perched on its edge.
I think what we're going to do is we're going to go without the blade.
The blade is your implement. You'll need it if you want to do this right.
And the idea about not taking the blade this time is like the last time, we didn't intend intentionally to kill her, but our body was taken over. So if we enter without the blade this time, maybe she'll take it as, okay, all right, I see you learned your lesson. You're not here to kill me this time.
I'm afraid I'm going to insist we take the blade. We're in a dangerous situation, and I'm not letting us go down there without a weapon.
Oh, so the skeptic is skeptic against everyone.
Are you sure? What if she, I don't know, turns it against us? Which I'm bringing up in a purely hypothetical manner.
I think that could entirely be possible. She seems much more capable than the last one.
Yes, I'm sure.
So he's going to make us take it.
Turns it against you? She's a prisoner here. She'll only be able to turn it against you if you give it to her.
Not quite.
Which you won't be doing because she's an existential threat to the entire world.
Sure, yeah. That's right. Sure, let's go.
Okay. I'm trusting you.
Hey, don't I get a say here? What's the big idea?
Normally, yeah, but not about this. Call it a reflex. We take the knife as we go.
Okay.
Wonderful. You do exactly that, sweeping the knife from the table before proceeding to the basement.
All right, well, I guess we take
Don't worry
it.
about it. We have a knife, so what? It's not like we have to use it.
Except the skeptic will probably make us use it.
No, you don't have to do anything, but you do well to use it regardless. Moving on.
Moving on.
The door to the basement creaks open, revealing an old stone staircase. A few sputtering torches attempt to vaguely illuminate your path, dancing across glimmering patches of slimy moss on the stone steps. If the princess lives here, slaying her would probably be doing her a favor.
He always says that, even when it actually looks pretty nice.
Her voice, harsh but controlled, carries up the stairs.
Harsh but controlled.
Is that a visitor I hear? Please, come downstairs. It's been a while since I've had company.
I wonder what visitors she could be referring to. Were we not the first?
Well, that's who she's referring to. Us.
You walk down the stairs and lock eyes with the princess. She looks up at you, the heavy collar around her neck clanking loudly as she moves, the chains binding both her wrists to the far wall, joining the metallic chorus as she adjusts her hands in her lap.
Not just one, but she's got multiple, and a collar one this time. Like, what the heck? She's even more dangerous this time.
Should we be worried about the one around her neck? Why would you be worried about her restraints? If anything, they'll make your job easier. Have you noticed the empty chain on the wall? Odd that in a place where everything seems to serve a distinct purpose, there would be something so obviously useless.
I've been wondering that for a long time. Like, they've always had this one locked up to one arm, and they've never had this one that's just like remaining open, locked to other arm. Now that they have one locked to her other arm, it's a different one.
What an interesting development. Why don't you have a seat? The two of us should chat before you bury that thing in my heart.
Indeed, I think so. I'm not sure I need to do much of anything. Do you see how locked up she is? I'm just going to leave her here. No, we don't leave the princess in the basement. She's going to turn into that banshee thing. Let's sit with her.
You step towards the princess, but she stops you before you get too close, holding up one shackled hand.
There's fine. I'd prefer we keep some distance until we've sorted this out.
I agree.
That's reasonable. We do have a weapon. Might as well put her at ease.
Alright, we'll just sit where we were told, instead of antagonizing her.
You do as she asks and sit on the floor, still a good distance away from her.
Thank you. Now, what are your intentions for me?
I've been here before. Am I the only one who remembers that? What happened after I died last time? The other chain on the wall, who was it for? What would you have me do? I'm definitely still not leaving her in the basement. I think the most pertinent thing to ask is if she also remembers.
Oh, are we acknowledging that? I thought we weren't going to give away the game. But yeah, I remember.
Weren't getting to give away the game.
So you've already been here.
Yep.
As much as I would like to remain in denial, it's no use. This has complicated things.
You have no idea.
It's complicated things how, exactly? Ideally, this was supposed to be one and done. You go to the cabin, you heroically slay the princess, and in the process you save the entire world from being damned to oblivion. The situation right now, where you're getting a second shot at things, is a contingency.
Contingency? Sure, I mean, we've been doing this many, multiple second times.
A contingency for what? For you failing, obviously. And you being here means that things are going to be a lot harder than they were. I really shouldn't say anything else, I'm just going to make it worse. Just good luck.
Just good luck.
If you knew this could happen, why didn't you tell us? All of this is incredibly valuable information. It would have changed our actions considerably.
He's not wrong.
I needed you to be in the dark for as long as I could keep you there. It's important. Necessary, even.
For him, only.
And maybe I wanted to be the first version of me that you met. I didn't want to be confronted by the alternative.
Well, ain't that just a shame for you?
That's pathetic.
He said it, not me.
I never said I wasn't.
Well, at least he acknowledges it.
I get it. It would be pretty upsetting, wouldn't it? To know that you might not be the first version of yourself. At least we can remember what happened before.
Sort of.
Seems like we should count ourselves lucky for that.
I don't know about that.
Exactly, he gets it. You're lucky, so don't waste that luck by messing it up again. Alright? Moving on. Why is it important for us to be ignorant? How is it ever helpful to be in the dark?
Man, they always say, they do say that, like in movies and stuff. What is it? What's the phrase? Need to know basis. It always goes wrong.
The more I say, the more your mind will swim into dangerous waters. Even saying that is too much. Your success hinges on you having imperfect information. For the sake of the entire world, you need to accept that.
Imperfect information. That's just another way of saying manipulation.
I won't.
Yeah, I won't either.
Fine, but you won't get another word from me on the matter.
Well, that's fine, because you're kind of a liar too.
Yeah, sure. We'll see about that. Just give it a rest. This isn't helping.
Focus. This is a serious situation. You shouldn't be daydreaming.
Let's see. That other chain on the wall, who is it for?
I don't know, but you could always try it on.
Nah, no thank you.
Maybe it'll fit.
Look at her smile.
I hope I don't actually have to say this, but please don't lock yourself in chains. We need you ambulatory if you're going to save the world.
Oh, just in case you guys don't know, ambulatory is like the walking, or the ability to walk, or having the ability to walk. I know when I first encountered it, ambulatory, it was like that ambulance, like you need emergency services. No, that's walking. I heard a term when you're ambulatory and you're with it in like, you know, cognitively in the hospital, you are a walkie-talkie, because you can walk and you can talk. Let's see. Let's inspect the shackle.
I wouldn't do that if I were you. And why is that? Do I even need to explain myself? It's a shackle and it's one without a key. Do you want to be stuck here like she is? And what? Is it going to lock the second we put our wrist into it?
Oh my god, that would be crazy if it did.
I don't know. Maybe it will. He doesn't want us to look at it. That's all the reason we need to investigate.
That's a skeptic for you.
But what if he's telling the truth? He isn't. I am.
Alright, well, let's go and inspect it regardless. That'd be crazy. This is just a trap from her, and like she wants us to get trapped and she'll kill us still.
Against your better judgment, you approach the chain dangling from the far wall. The princess watches you with faux disinterest as you inspect it, though she can't fully hide her curiosity.
Interesting. Faux disinterest.
I don't want to say what I'm supposed to say next.
Does it chomp down on us?
What is that supposed to mean? It sounds bad. Is it bad?
Of course it's bad, hero.
Yes, it's bad. Come out and say it then. You're just wasting time.
Indeed.
Fine. As you hoist the shackle, its heft shifts within your grasp, as if pulled by some odd magnetism. Before you can so much as blink, it practically leaps from your hands, snapping around your neck.
That's kind of funny, honestly. That's kind of funny.
And, as if your situation weren't bad enough, the same magnetism repels your blade, which is flung from your hand and sent skittering across the floor of the basement.
Interesting.
Excuse me?
For real?
Yes? Are we stuck here now?
Yes, we are.
Yes.
And she said nothing about it.
Huh, so it does fit. And I guess it doesn't like your knife. We're stuck here together, aren't we? That's funny.
What are we supposed to do now?
Be here forever.
Can't even cut ourselves out. Guess we'll starve.
Indeed.
That's horrible.
I mean, yeah, that's pretty bad.
It's not all bad. We learned a valuable piece of information.
Yeah?
Not to touch things we're specifically told not to touch.
That is a valuable information.
No, that there's something special about this loose chain. It's clearly important.
Yeah, it was for us. Yeah, did you know this was going to happen to him?
No.
Sure. So, what do we do?
Wait, I guess. Maybe something else will happen. Maybe not.
She's just really calm about this. Yeah, not one for small talk, are you?
Nope.
That's rude.
I mean, at the same time, she doesn't like it, so, I mean, she doesn't want to talk. Why should we make her? Yes, dots.
You and the princess wait in silence, though neither of you knows what you're waiting for. But you're waiting for something. You're waiting for anything.
Yeah, our deaths.
This is so boring. There must be something we can do to get out of here. There must be something we're missing. But there isn't.
No, we're just stuck here.
Time passes. It passes and passes and passes. And the basement of the cabin remains much the same. It is cold and silent. At least the world is safe.
I mean, she's gonna get out, right?
It isn't. You're stuck. Too far away from both the princess and your blade to do much of anything.
But she hasn't left yet.
But she's not ending anything. She's just sitting there. Her very existence is a threat. It harms everything around it.
Yeah, but if she doesn't get out, then she can't harm anything, right?
How exactly does that work? It just does.
Sure, whatever.
But your line of questioning is interrupted by the passage of even more time. And after that, even more time passes again. And let me guess, the cabin remains the same.
Of course.
If time is passing, the cabin can't be the same. Even if the differences are small, they have to exist. That's just how things work.
I mean, he's technically right, but at the same time, I mean, figuratively, they don't really, because everything hasn't moved.
I suppose you're correct. Things are changing. The differences are small at first, a bit of weathering here, a bit of erosion there, but then they get larger and larger.
Yeah, I'm seeing the basement getting darker. Yeah, have you noticed it too?
I don't like small talk, remember?
Well, maybe it's been so long that I don't remember. How about
Still
that?
rude. You continue to wait in silence, and the cabin continues to change. The decay comes faster now. You can see earth through holes in the stonework, can watch lichen spread along the seams of the walls.
Wait, I thought we were gonna have, starved to death. We're still alive, even with all of this, decay happening.
That doesn't make sense. Has our entire concept of time changed? What happens to starving?
Exactly.
We should have died by now if the rocks around us are starting to erode.
Exactly. What's up with that?
She hasn't starved. I guess she hasn't.
Yeah. And nor have we. Look,
Even more silent time passes as you watch roots push themselves through the increasingly porous walls of the basement. Dirt seeps inside, flowing across the stone floor like a liquid, covering the ground and threatening to swallow you both. Time continues to pass, and pass, and pass.
But we're both still here. We're both not human. I mean, I knew we weren't human, but she's also not human.
Until suddenly, there are no walls.
And then she gets out.
And I think he's gone.
Would you look at that? We made it out of the cabin, and nothing bad had to happen to either of us.
I mean, that's one way of looking at it.
So this is the outside world. It's cold.
Oh, there are the hands. The entity took her. But you do not get the chance to respond, nor will you ever. It's time to leave. Memory returns.
She's gone. Where did she go? Should we try and find her? And is that a mirror? Why is it here? Why now?
Alright, well, I just approached the mirror. You approached the mirror.
This doesn't feel right. It feels different. Final.
But it's not.
You're right. Part of me wants the truth, but something stronger is holding me back. Fear.
Fear. The voices feel small, distant as you approach, and we gaze into the reflection. Silence as you reach forward, because they're gone once again. The mirror always makes them leave, but you need to see what's in it. The remains. You're unraveled. Yeah, so we are different every time we look in this. You find yourself in the long quiet once again. Proceed to the cabin, and there she is yet again. You're at the cabin, and we approach.
There's a world beyond the endless walls of the long quiet. I am curious to see what it means for us to know it.
Yeah, she becomes more and more. Like now she's got a chain around her neck from the one that had the chains. Do you think there are people out there?
It doesn't matter if there are. People are too small for us. You and I are the only things that interest me.
Yeah, because we're connected somehow. Do you think that anything is real out there? Do you think that we're real?
We are real. Nothing is an idea that dwells in the absence of something. But nothing cannot exist on its own. And because of that, nothing can't exist.
Okay. I mean, that's a lot of wordplay, but I see what you're saying. Right. Let's see. Do you know what's going to happen when you awaken?
If I did, I would already be awake.
Well, I guess if you've never been awake, and you wouldn't know, unless you had plans for what you would do when you awaken. I don't know. It's just vague. When you send me back, I'm not alone. There are voices that speak to me. Some of them are me, but one of them is something else. I call him the narrator, and he wants me to kill you. Do you have a narrator? Have the vessels had one? That is a good question. I've been asking about that. Like, we always have the hero, and the narrator is always one that we hear. It's the same voice as the hero and all the other voices. So I imagine he's like the same, but like, what is that?
No, their minds are empty, existent, but constantly shifting into something new. Do you think your narrator lives in the spaces beyond?
It feels that way. He does. I don't know why, but I know this for a fact. Or he does. I don't know what I'm going to do when I find him. He does, and when I find him, you and I are finally going to have answers. He does, and when I find him, I'm going to kill him. And he does, but you're going to keep that to yourself. I mean, I would like to get answers from him.
Do not look to one who fears me for your truth. The only answers worth knowing are those we can find within ourselves.
Well, I mean, the answers that you find within yourself can be colored or influenced by the answers that you find from outside, whether true or not. And they help formulate and either impair or justify the answer that you have within yourself. All right, I guess I'm ready to go back.
The next time I see you, each of us will finally know what we are.
Finally? Oh.
I will be here, waiting for you.
Okay. Everything goes dark, and you die. Back to 1.
You're on a path.
All right,
in
I'm
the
just going to
woods.
skip through that. And all right, guys. I think for now, that is going to be the last video in this series. I hope you guys have enjoyed it. I have. I certainly have. It's been really interesting. But at this point, I feel like we're just collecting endings. And I'm not really an achievement hunter. And I'm not sure that I'm getting more lore. If I do get more lore, or then, I mean, and you guys know that more lore comes out and is easier to get, I'm happy to revisit this. But for now, it just seems like you get little dribs and drabs that don't really mean much of anything or don't really contribute much to the overall story. So I feel like, at least for a video on YouTube, it's probably going to be a bit boring. So I'm going to end it before it does get really boring. I hope you guys have enjoyed. I'm looking at bringing other videos, obviously, to the channel, one of which I'm thinking of going back to Lake of Voices. If you guys haven't seen that on my channel or ever before, I do have playlists for those, and I hope that you go back or go to for the first time and watch them. It's a really charming game, and I loved it since the first time I made a run through. Maybe not the first time. I think I did like a really short run, but definitely the first longer run. It was really great, and I think I would say I would recommend it to everybody, especially since it's a free game. Anyways, as far as this game, I think I've played enough for a October Halloween special time frame. I had a great time with it. I hope you guys have had a great time with it. If I learn or find out that you get much more lore and by finding more of these princesses and bring them back, and then you get more answers to a lot of your questions, I'll definitely consider coming back and bringing more of this. But for now, there are other games that I want to bring to the channel, one of which I just recently purchased that actually has been recommended a couple of times on my channel, so I'm finally bringing it in. It was on sale on Steam, so I went ahead and bought it, and it'll be coming real soon. I'm going to keep that as a surprise for now, but those of you looking for it, I hope that you enjoyed that. As for everyone else, I hope you've enjoyed this. I would be happy to know if there's more lore for which we can experience, and I hope to see you in the next one. Until then, everyone, bye.